Today has been your day. Have you had a nice time in the Gathering of Warriors?
I've had more than a nice time. I've had a wonderful day, thanks to the family of my martial art friends. A wonderful day.
There were a lot of old friends that traveled a long ways to see you, and a lot of stories and a lot of fun. If you could say one thing that you're going to remember about today, what would that be?
The one thing that I would say about the day that I learned, that love comes in all shapes, forms, and fashions. And it didn't matter what walks of life we came from, we all came together today and showed a purpose to somebody that they cared and admired in life. And that happened to be me. It's not bragging, it's just I feel blessed and honored that people feel like that about me. That is a good feeling to have. And every man on this earth, whether he's in martial art or just taking care of his family, want his legacy to be that he was a good person on earth. And that makes me feel very good.
One thing, there's a lot of guys that were influential in you becoming the martial artist you are, and friends that are not here anymore. We have Hickson Sr., Hickson Jr., just a ton of great martial artists that are no longer with us. If you could say one thing to the future generations of martial artists that you, from your time in training, your thoughts on the martial arts and the martial arts way, one thing that they could take, wisdom that you have or that you think, what would that one thing be?
The one thing that I would tell any martial artist to keep with them is an empty cup. Because without your cup being empty, you will not be able to receive all the things that you're going to learn in the future and from the past. Do not overfill your cup. And what I mean by that, stop putting a lot of stuff in your cup that you don't need. Stop putting things that will overflow your cup. One of the things I talked about earlier today was you have a white uniform. One of the reasons why that they had the white uniform was to stand for the pureness of the art. They can't give you a clear uniform, so the closest thing to clear is white. You can see any spot on it, or any stain on it, or any bulge in it. So that way you can tell if a person has a weapon. But the object of that is to keep your mind open and clear. So that would be the one thing that I would say to them.
I know you've been a big supporter of the Gathering of Warriors and what we stand for, the cross-training and the brotherhood and the family of it. Would you like to say anything about Gathering of Warriors and what we've been doing with its program?
I would really like to say something about the Gathering of the Warriors. Here's what I've been saying about the Gathering of the Warriors. I don't toot somebody else's horn. I just give credit where credit is due. And one of the things that I realize is this. By you and Mr. Upshaw bringing the Gathering of the Warriors together, that is something that people have been trying to get together for years and years and years. It ain't as big as it should be, but it ain't as little as it should be. It should be bigger. But the situation is, without stuff like this, people will not understand the true meaning of martial art because they're stuck in one mode. When you go to a nightclub and go dancing, you might be dancing to something that you learned maybe a year ago. As soon as you turn around on the dance floor and spin with your partner and look over on the other side, they're doing a completely different than what you was doing last year. So the object of that is bringing these warriors together means this. There's no one thing that worked and there's no one thing that'll be wrong. Putting it together helps every individual in life make their dictionary of life. And I'm hoping that people understand what I mean by your dictionary of life. I'm not talking about fighting, punching, and kicking. I'm talking about being a better human being for yourself and for the people around you, and especially your loved ones, such as your wife, your family, and your children. And this is what some of the people are missing. They think this is all about tournaments and punching and kicking, and this is about a way of life. If you can put your uniform on and don't understand life, you have lost the whole meaning of martial arts. You've lost it. And if you can't be kind to your fellow man, then you've really lost a lot that you should have been trying to get. And I say that because an experience happened to me not too long ago, and I would kind of share this. It's short, but I would kind of share. Driving down the street one day, and a guy was standing on the side of the road, and he had a sign, I'm hungry, I'm homeless, I'm looking for money. And the person that was in the car with me looked up and said, man, I ain't giving them guys no money, man. They take my money, I don't know what they doing, and they probably just out here lying just to get some liquor or some drinks. So we drove on the way, and I looked at him, I said, that's not what that was about. He said, what do you mean that was about? They were just trying to get money out of us. I said, no. The object was this. If you see a man standing on the street, and he looks a certain way to you, and he's bumming from you, whether it's for the real thing or the fake thing, give him what you think you should give him. If you give him $1, that's your blessing. What do you do with the dollar after you give it to him? That's not on you. Count your blessings that you got $1 that you can give this man. And some people don't see that. They see that, ain't getting my money, I work hard for my money. We all do. But there's a whole bunch of us out there that's having hard times. And we need to count our blessings. If I got 2 and I give you 1, that's got 2 of us that's got 1. Not just 1 that got 2. So that was a lesson that I had to show him.
All right, the last question I have for you is I just want you to take a minute. Is there anything that you would want as part of your legacy that you'd like to extend to your family?
Oh my God, I can't say enough about my family. We've been through the ups, we've been through the downs. Me, as a father, I got the greatest kids in the world. I know every dad says that, but I got the greatest kids in the world. We've been through the ups, we've been through the downs, but not near one of my kids I put their mama or myself, and I will say it boldly, through hell and hot water. They've all been gentlemen, and they've all tried to make something out of themselves. I'm very proud of my kids. You know, they ain't perfect. Nobody's kids is. But when you got kids like that even though they're grown, in the back of their mind, they still hear mama and daddy talking to them. And I mean, they have their moments. Every kid does. You have kids, eventually, the youngest one that you got will grow up, and you'll be looking at her like, she's talking back. But it's not because she's losing the respect. She or him is coming into their own world. And you have to back up and say, okay, I got a young man now. I got to quit talking to him like I'm the dad and you the child. Yeah, you're going to always be his child, but you have to give him that room or her that room to become an adult with respect for herself and for you. So I'm grateful. My legacy is okay. And here's one of the great things about my legacy, especially with my kids. And I've been hearing this out of them ever since they were little, and they're grown now. When I say grown, in their 30s and 40s and stuff. But here's one of the things. Dad, I met somebody and they say they know you. They said you taught them this, you did this, you did. Never one of my kids ever come back and say, Dad, some girl said you raped her years ago. Dad, some guy said you stuck him up with a gun and robbed him. They say, Dad, you used to sell dope. Never one of my kids can say that about their father. I'm not perfect. I ain't the best dad in the world, you know? And one of the things that I used to tell my kids, and they still understand that today, I used to tell my kids this: don't ever buy me a birthday gift or a Father's Day gift. And they would look at, or a Christmas gift, and they would look at me like, why, Dad? And I would always tell them, my gift is you. As long as you and your brothers and sisters go out into the world and treat people right and do the right thing with life, that's my gift right there. All that giving me a Father's Day card or Mother's Day card, and then a week later, here come the police knocking on the door, we got your son and daughter for robbery. I thought you said you love me. How would you go out into the world and do this to your parents? Now you want us to get you a lawyer, put your house up. Worked all my life for you to tell me to put my house up in a day. Even though I can't make it down for them in a hot dog. I'm just saying. But I mean, no, it's wonderful to feel like that. That the stories that they heard about their father is not horrible, you know.